Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the carpet flooring kit for the Jaguar E-Type open two-seater Roadster model. Specifically, this is for a Series 3 Roadster, and even more specifically, it's for a right-hand drive manual. The carpet set differed between right-hand drive and left-hand drive, but also manual versus automatic. We have all of the different variant patterns, so fear not. It is definitely worth checking out other videos on the YouTube channel though, as I might have done a video that is more applicable to your exact spec. But as an overview, it's only really the front floor carpets that change between all of those elements of things, which I will roughly detail. So it's a decent guide for anyone that owns a V12 Series 3 Roadster. This particular video focuses mainly on the carpet set, but I am including some other items which you may wish to consider at the same time. So you've got the front floor mats, rubber mats, they are sold separately. We're also going to be talking about the underfelt soundproofing for underneath the carpets as well, which again is sold separately. And then also at the back of the car here, we've got the sort of rear Cubby Box Retrim Kit. On the Series 3 Roadsters, they had a rather unique setup at the back of the car, just behind the seats, rear bulkhead area, where it had a sort of folding Cubby Box section, which is trimmed in a mixture of carpet and moquette. Moquette being a sort of short pile, unbacked carpet-like material that Jaguar used during this era. And so we do recommend getting that at the same time so that everything matches. So I have included that in this video, but that section there, those four pieces, are sold separately to the carpet set, as are the overmats and the felt kit. In terms of trim kits, obviously we sell a lot of complete trim kits for the E-Types. The carpet set, the rear Cubby Box Retrim Kit and the underfelt are all included as standard within our trim kit, so already as part of that combination package. The overmats, rubber overmats, are always an optional extra, so bear that in mind. So like I say, this is a Series 3 Roadster right-hand drive manual. This particular set has been done out of what we refer to as Palomino wool. Wool being the premium automotive carpeting material. It's worth noting that a lot of Series 3s actually left the factory in a sort of nylon flock style carpet, which unfortunately these days is extremely rare and to my knowledge is pretty much not available. You used to be able to get a few colours a few years ago, but I think it's basically people reaching the end of the batch runs of those. And I feel that there is no intention to get that remade, so do bear that in mind. Wool is much more in line with the earlier E-Types and is a much more premium material than the nylon flock carpet, so do bear that in mind. And this is what we standardly what we standardly supply for all of our Jaguar E-Types, is this version of carpets. Now it's done in Palomino to match a biscuit interior, or light tan as some people refer to it. We refer to it as biscuit light tan just for combining the names. But when it comes to the carpet, as you will see in our materials and colours library, we can offer various shades for each colour. So this one's Palomino, which is by far and away the most popular shade offered. But we can effectively offer it in three different colours, as I'm showcasing here. So this top one is Palomino, which is what this carpet set is. The middle one there is Cinnamon, which is a bit sort of darker and almost a bit browner. And this one here is Honey, which is a bit lighter. So yeah, we've also obviously got other shades that you may also like as well. So do see our materials and colours library. But I just wanted to detail that because it shows you the lengths that we go to make sure you get the restoration you will want in terms of your colours and whatnot. So as you can see, we've edged the carpet in biscuit, which obviously will match in with the rest of the trim in the car. And that's what we effectively do is, you can potentially change the tone slightly in the carpeting material so that it's roughly in the same realm, but different tones in terms of shading and whatnot. So keep that in mind, the levels we go to. Now, it's worth noting in terms of the edging of carpets. One, we edge them to original specification, but not every carpet piece has edging on it, as you will see. The general concept being that no unbound or unedged piece of carpet will be on show when everything is said and done. It will either be tucked underneath the adjacent carpet, which has binding on it, or it'll be tucked underneath a adjacent panel or something like that, or underneath the center console, for example. So that's a good representation. If you take this sort of gearbox section here going down the middle of the car, you'll see that none of the sort of edges, left and rights, are edged at all on there. Some of the front and backs are, but not all. And the reason for that being, let's take these sort of gearbox sides here. You have two sections of gearbox sides. This section here, you have edging on the front and back, but not on the top or bottom, and that's because the bottom will tuck underneath the front floor carpets, which are edged, and the top tucks underneath the centre console. Same again on this area here, which is where the handbrake comes out. None of those pieces are actually edged because it's mostly covered by the console. The side bits will be covered by effectively the sort of front and rear floor sections, and the front section is effectively covered up by the console as well, where it butts up to these edge pieces. So that's the general concept of those bits there, that no unbound edges are ever on show because they're actually covered up when everything is said and done and fitted into the car. And with that concept leads me to one of the main reasons that we're known globally for our quality and fitment, and that's because for certain pieces like that, we've made them slightly bigger than they need to be, knowing that it will help you get the best fit within your individual car. Obviously, the original production lines were quite inconsistent, to say the least, and a lot of the suppliers out there will use that as an excuse as to why their kits don't fit. We do not. We work around those issues and have done for years, which is why we've got the reputation we've got for the best fitting kits in the world. And these carpets are a prime example of that, because we've allowed for, should we say, the idiosyncrasies of the inconsistent production line back in the day, having bits that are slightly deeper or wider than they need to be, but it doesn't affect the overall fitment because you can tuck them underneath the adjacent pieces. Means that you get a nice seamless flow in between all of the carpets, so you'll never get any felt or bodywork showing through. And that's one of the touches that we're known for, is making sure that we offer the best fitting kits in the world, but also very flexible kits in that regard. Any pieces that are edged or bound, you shouldn't really be needing to do anything on, so bear that in mind. And actually, it's worth noting at this stage here that not only have we worked on some of the leading restorers in the world for their sort of Jaguar E-types and whatnot, we've also supplied kits for some of the most notable people within the Jaguar industry, including presidents of certain clubs, Jaguar enthusiast clubs and E-type clubs and whatnot, which I think is a real good stamp of real good stamp of approval. We also, or rather I also have a Series 3 Roadster myself, which you'll see videos on YouTube of that. So yeah, got hands-on experience with the fitment of these particular parts and whatnot, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, let's dive on through to the kit and try and do piece by piece. So let's start at the front of the car. You've effectively got the toe board carpets, so they're the bits on the vertical of the engine bay in the footwell, where all the pedals are. So they are these pieces here, bound all the way around, and they will sit on the vertical like that. Then you have the front gearbox carpets, so they're the bits down in here. There we are. So the gearbox side of the footwell at the very front, and they have elements bound on them, but not all the way around. Then you have the kind of middle part of the gearbox, which is this section here, just underneath the console. Let me try and get the glare off. So it's that bit there. So if that's the front section, which are these bits here, then you've got the next according piece back, which mainly tucks underneath the center console here. You get a pair of those as well, and like I say, made deeper so that it tucks underneath the adjacent carpets and the top part under the console, but the front and back edges are bound, keeping it nice and neat and tidy. You then have effectively the I guess almost prop shaft tunnel section of the gearbox. This is where the handbrake comes out of, so it's all pre-cut. Even has the cut steps for elements, not sure we're going to be able to really see, but underneath the seats there they have the cross members, so they kind of step, and this is sort of pre-cut guides to give you a bit of a position of exactly how they fit into the car. So it's those little steps that we go to as well, excuse the pun, to make sure that everything is a bit easier to fit. Then moving on back, you have sort of diff hump there and the piece just in front, which are effectively, so that is this piece here, which is mostly covered by the center console, kind of leads up to the back there, but then carries on back there. And then you have these pieces here, which are inside this box. So if they opened up that box, which I unfortunately don't think they have a photo of, then you would see That's effectively the diff hump there, which slots inside there, and that's a piece just in front of it there. Then we've got effectively the kind of lower bulkhead sections there. So they are carpet. They have some vinyl sewn to the edge there, oversized vinyl to allow you to easily attach it to the aesthetic bodywork, or rather this element here, the step here. So they're those pieces down there. We'll come to this rear section in a second, but let's carry on here. Then we've got the cross members. So they are literally, you have these cross member supports. The seat's actually semi-sat on. So you get a couple of bits of carpet there, pre-cut again with general sort of guide pilot cuts to help you work your way around the... They had sort of metal brackets that came up that the seats actually attached inside of. So these are pre-cut bits to allow you to work around those, and the step up that I mentioned before. Then obviously the main parts of the carpet set are the front floor carpets and the rear floor carpets. So starting with the front floor carpets, you get a pair of them. Like I mentioned earlier, they do change between auto and manual, and between right-hand drive and left-hand drive. So there's 4 different versions effectively on it. This is obviously a right-hand drive manual, so it has the cutaway there for where the throttle pedal would sit inside. You get heel pads to match the binding. This is actually done out of the PVC Storvik material, which is the original material used by Jaguar back in the day, which we can offer in a decent amount of colours, but not every single colour. And what we try to do is, again, go to those extra steps of making sure the binding matches the heel pads, which should tie in with the main interior trim colour if you've kept it consistent. And therefore, for certain colours that you might have been going for, that they don't have a obvious sort of decent match for Storvik, we will then do those heel pads out of leather cloth, or rather a piece of plastic trimmed in leather cloth, so it 100% matches the edging, which has always been done in leather cloth, vinide, Rexon, whatever you want to call it. So bear that in mind. It's those extra steps that we go to that have given us the name that we're known for globally. So you get a pair of front floors. Then the rear floor carpets, you get a pair of those as well. They do come with pre-cut slots in them, again there for the effectively the brackets that the seats sit on. So you get a pair, one at side that comes out of the sill effectively, and the other one here, which is situated within the carpet spectrum area, so they're literally underneath the seats there. If you do have any questions on the fitment of any of these things, either yourself or a professional trimmer, or you're just not sure exactly how it all goes together, it is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, do let me know. We have hundreds of photos of cars at different stages, and of course I've got a Series 3, so it's easy enough for me to take a photo if you're unsure. But they're the rear floor carpets. Now going to the back of the car, obviously we've touched on these 2 elements here which sit inside here, but then you effectively had the main rear bulkhead section here. So that's a piece of carpet that went from here down, and then it goes inside the cubby box. Effectively that can come off the whole cubby box, and it's trimmed separately and then bolted back in. So this is the rear bulkhead carpet here, which has cutaway for, there's a sort of side step down there. Obviously there's a cutaway for the diff there as well. Then inside the box you had a pair of pieces here that went effectively on this back edge here and here on the vertical. And then you had these shaped pieces here which sat on the vertical on the outside of where the sort of cubby box is there. So they're all part of the carpet set, despite being inside the sort of cubby box, rear cubby box area. And then finally, as part of the carpet set, you got this light area carpet strip here, which literally is this one here. So it bends round, following the curvature of the car. In the middle of it, you get the interior light. We don't pre-cut the light hole. That's a foolish man's game to pre-cut something like that. It's always best to just done in situ when you know everything is lining up, and you just start with a small hole and work it slightly bigger within the parameters given. That has a vinyl strip sewn on it as well, which gets wrapped around and tucked for during the fitment to the car, essentially, on that piece there. So that's the carpet set as a whole. Then obviously in addition to that, you're wanting to get the rear cubby box retrim kit. So it's basically materials that retrim these top parts here, which are these bound moquette pieces here. And then you get materials that go on the sort of underside of the panels inside the actual box itself. So we do recommend you get that at the same time to make sure that everything matches nicely on that one there. Right, optional extras. So we've got the Overmats. They're rubber Overmats. They have the sort of Jaguar logo in the middle of them. Have a bit of a ribbed backing to it for extra grip. So they're great for making sure you don't get these lovely carpets wet or dirty. So I have a pair in my car. It's worth noting they are made generically for the long wheelbase E-Type, so effectively the Series 3s, but also then the 2+2 models. And given that and the changes that did happen on them, you'll probably find that you might want to give it... I've got a left-hand drive car, so this is the correct side for me. I had to cut away a little bit there just to stop it from interfering with the pedal. So we like to be as transparent as possible with those sorts of things, but it's literally a snip away. It doesn't really affect the aesthetic at all, but it did mean that it didn't get caught on the pedal, which, yeah, could be a bit dangerous. So do bear that in mind. So they're sold separately, and they're always outside the scope of the trim kit. But then we also, let's talk about the underfelt, undercarpet sound heat proofing kit. So sold separately to the carpet set, but it is included as part of the trim kit package. We offer natural jute felt, which is very much akin to what was originally used during this era of production, which is effectively a jute felt, and then it has this black topping on it. The black topping faced upwards towards the sky when it's fitted into the car. So we do offer a pre-cut kit of this. However, a lot of people ask me about Dynamat and other brands of the modern day heat shield barriers. In terms of the practicality of actually using them for heat and sound reduction, chalk and cheese. The Dynamat stuff's absolutely incredible. I've got it all over my car. At present, we don't offer pre-cut kits of that, but we are looking to. So be sure to keep a lookout on our website, because we are going to go into that for sure and offer people pre-cut kits. But at the moment, we don't do pre-cut kits, but we do encourage people to put it into their cars. But it does depend on the spec. They have numerous different versions of that modern day sort of Dynamat, Dodo matting stuff of different sort of thicknesses. And we recommend that you have anywhere between 5 and 10 millimeters of thickness underneath the carpet to get the best fitment of the carpet. You've got to remember that when these carpets were templated, they had a certain thickness underneath them, and therefore you need to make sure you adhere to that thickness to get the best fit. It's also nice to have a bit of softer foot comfort under the foot as such, which this natural jute felt does offer. Like I say, the Dynamat stuff, certainly the one I went for, which is the top end stuff, that is extremely thin when everything's said and done. It basically goes down to nothing when it's in the car. So in addition to that, I've also got a felt kit on top of it, because it helps with the positioning of the carpet and it feels a bit nicer underfoot. But if you have got one of the thicker versions, which is slightly more padded, as long as it's between 5 and 10 millimeters, you're absolutely fine. You wouldn't need our felt kit. So bear that in mind. I think that's covered it. So, bit of an overview. We've got the carpet set. And then we've got this, references to the underfelt undercarpet kit and the pros and cons of that in conjunction with the modern day stuff. But the underfelt kit is sold separately to the carpet set, but they are both included as part of the trim kits. The carpet set differs between right-hand drive and left-hand drive, and as well as automatic and manual. We edge all of our carpet sets as per original specification in terms of where the edging appears, but also we use the correct leather cloth vinide Rexer material, not vinyl like other suppliers out there. Please do check out our blog and video about the differences, the crucial differences between those. Heel pads will always try and match up to the binding where possible, either using the original Storvik material or by using leather cloth plastic heel pads. Overmats are sold separately to the carpet set, and they are not included in the trim kit package if you did want to go with those. At the same time as ordering the carpet set, we do recommend that you get the retrim kit for the rear cubby box shelf behind the seats, as they're made in identical or similar materials, so it's worth getting at the same time so that everything matches. So bear that in mind as well. I think I've covered my bases there. Obviously, please do check out other videos linked to your Series 3 restoration and at the end of this video or on the YouTube channel. Of course, check out our website and lots of information on there. And of course, get in contact with us if you do have an inquiry for your Series 3 restoration. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, thank you for viewing. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts, and be sure to check out our next video. Thank you.